I was walking and I started thinking of like puberty and how guys' puberty are explained differently than female puberty. Like all you hear is about menstrual like how we go through the cycle, and for guys is about sexual exploration of their body experience, kind of coming in touch with what sexy is, you know, whether if they're looking at a can of syrup and they're like, ooh, that looks so good, and then it gets turned them on and they have to go dismiss themselves to go do God knows what. And I was like, for female, it doesn't go deep into it. And I'm like, why? When I took women's study class, they talked about female sexuality, what it was a thing where women would have the urge to like want to play with themselves like guys would do, and no one ever talks about that because it's like, oh, that's women's stuff, that's disgusting. But it's natural for boys, it should be natural for girls, right? So this one time, I used to be friends with this girl who used to read erotic book. And she was telling, I've always been a curious kid. Like, it didn't matter what it was. I was just very curious. So she was telling me about the erotic books that she read. And I was like, erotic? What is that? I was one of those kids who used to read a lot, and I wouldn't socialize with people because I didn't think anyone liked me, you know, because either I was too loud, too happy, or too whatever. So I used to keep to myself a lot of the time. So books were literally my friend, and I would read a book a week. Like, I would read 200 books a week in 1 week and then go back to the library and get more books. So when I discovered erotic book, y'all, I was like, oh my God. I used to check it out under an alias name and then hide it from my mom so she wouldn't see it. And I was so afraid because I'm like, she might think I'm a whore or a freak or whatever. So I didn't want her to see it. But this one time I discovered porn. I was in middle school, and a friend had told me about creating a fake email account and saying you're over 18 and going. And I was like, oh my God. I discovered anime porn and I was like hooked. I was like, oh, this is it. This is what I need in my life. And I started making fake accounts. I used to go to the library. I was one of those creep. I was a kid, so people didn't really, oh my gosh, shun me as much. But I was one of those creep that used to go to the library in middle school and watch porn. I used to be able to, I had fake accounts in like every name, Polly, Sunshine, like every crazy name you could think of. And I used to like do the age where, I don't remember, I used to have them written down to where I would keep in case I need, like, they flag the other account, then I can log in. It was bad. Like, it was so bad. But I felt so weird, like, telling anyone about this because I was like, oh my God, porn is bad. People are gonna think I'm a slut. Like, what is wrong with me? But this one time, I waited till everyone in my house was asleep. And we had one computer, which was in the living room, and I would go on there, log in, and like I was one of those kids that would stay up. If it's something that I really want to do, I would stay up and do it. And I would log in and watch my anime porn. And this one time there was an ad that came up because the one I was watching ended, and the ad came up with like, would you like to watch more? Click here. And I click, not knowing it was a virus, and our whole computer screen got spam. It was nothing but naked girls every shot and like different sexual position. And I got scared, turned off the computer, thinking if I turn it off, go to sleep, wake up the next day, it will be gone. The next day I didn't wake up and turn the computer on. My cousin had done that, and my auntie needed him to look something up online. Oh my God, I am so sorry if you're watching this. I was a kid. I didn't know any better. Like, don't judge me. It wasn't me. And the computer was spam, and they thought it was my guy cousin because they were, you know, teenagers in high school and whatever. And everyone was getting on them about, like, why would you guys do that? And I was so afraid to be like, I did it, because my mom is a strong believer in ass whooping. And as a loyal member, VIP section of straight up getting ass whooping every day, I was like, I do not want to get beat in front of my cousins. They were all visiting, so I was like, I'm not taking that ass beating today. So I basically was like, oh wow, that's so, oh my God. Like, that's so wrong. Like, oh my God. And then I waited till like it came down. Everyone was just like, ugh, disgusted with them. Again, I'm so sorry, guys. I was young. And then like came down, I was like, I went to my auntie and I was like, what happened? Like, and she was like, there was stuff on the computer that kids shouldn't be seeing. And I was like, oh my God, that's so wrong. Like, knowing damn well what it was. And I was just walking, laughing my ass off. And then now, as like I'm saying it again, I'm like, so sorry. It wasn't funny because it happened to you guys, but as me not getting that ass whooping that I deserve and not getting in trouble, like, it was pretty hilarious now that I'm looking back at it. Then it was terrifying, and I'm so sorry that you guys got in trouble for me. But yeah, so I'm